All right. We have time for questions. John, read the list of people who will be asking a question.
It's first is Monica. Monica, is that you on the 1512 number? Um, Henry, Helen, and then
Yes.
okay, you are on.
Thank
All
you.
right. Yes. Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Um,
Your phone is breaking up.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
So once you go after a while.
All right.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. Thank you. Go ahead and begin again.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your precious time, your precious teaching. And we wish that this becomes a happy world. Um, and the beautiful meditation goes right in alignment to what I was thinking earlier today and yesterday. I just feel drained, and I feel like certain areas I feel good. Like I'm in an area right now, I don't. I feel like static, and in another area where I was, I feel good. But there was a situation, and I just want to. I just try to be successful and think positive because I know I have a relationship. I know I delayed it, and I. But anyway, focus on an I. I'm just trying to. What's going on with I that? Oh, I just trying to give me a world consists of having income and shelter and food and necessities because human body takes a hit, and I'm gonna stay healthy. I am not gonna let myself go down. I do not put toxins in my human body. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. So you have stated your intention to live a healthy life, to be healthy, to have those physical needs met is an important direction that you give. Now, as you look to see where am I limiting myself? Where do I say, only give me this much because that is what I've known before? Where have I noticed I could allow more, but it would require me to allow others to contribute to me? And so then I set a boundary and say, this far, but not further. And so we're not saying you should change your boundaries until you understand that you put them there. So when you have a situation where your normal is, let's say, being hungry, if your normal is never quite enough, another bill comes just when you think you're getting ahead, or the income that you live within just isn't quite enough. There's a constriction happening, a constriction that is for you to assess what about this is familiar and what is not me. Because you see, part of defining what's going on in your reality is there's that which you relate to. Oh, yes, I completely see. This is what I had in my childhood. This is what I had in my adolescence. Other times, it wasn't your child or adolescent who had it, but it was what you were taught from others. Well, that's just the way life is. That's just the way reality is. If you don't agree, then you're the one who lives in a fantasy. So you see now the judgments come in. Oh, I either agree with them or I live in fantasy. I don't get to create a different reality because I haven't changed the script, you see. I'm still living the script that I either comply or I rebel. So as you free yourself up, disconnect from the consensus definitions of what life is supposed to look like. Even the statement, I just want enough food on the table. I just want shelter. I just want my needs met so that I can go do my work, my real work, the spiritual work. Consider that allowing the universe to contribute to your success as a spiritual being is the work. And so allowing yourself to imagine a more robust platform to come from where you're not struggling always to barely make ends meet, even if that's what you're currently experiencing. Suspend that for a moment and say, what would it be like if I were completely relaxed? What if I did allow the universe to support me in more ways than I do? What if I disconnected from a consensus belief that my survival is in someone else's hands, not mine? See, we just worked on authority. So how perfect that this is coming up. You see, when you stand in your own authority and you look to see, what am I creating? And what do I get out of it? Well, I just want to know somebody loves me. If somebody loves me, then someone will come care for me. God, Goddess aren't really available to me as they truly are because I want them to be my parents who will come rescue the child. You can see how that would then limit the amount that God, Goddess can support you in being who you truly are. If I identify as child, I can get a certain distance with that. But the cost is I always have to revert back to being helpless. Just when I get strong enough, something happens and I revert back into being helpless. Not for no reason, not because you're bad and wrong, but because by definition, I'm still thinking I'm a child in the eyes of God, Goddess. I'm not standing in my authority, allowing them to see the fullness of my being. They already know who you truly are. They don't need convincing. As you let in, oh, I'm hiding my light. I'm hiding my love in order to bargain for more of the physical stuff of reality. But that's a script. And do I want to keep writing that script when I could choose so many other ones? So we're working you through a whole lot of different things here. And it's not just you, Monica. We're working the group through the thinking process of, where am I projecting parent onto God, Goddess? And therefore, by definition, I am child or I am adolescent. Most of you are in child around this. When this occurs, you defer authority. I can't handle creating reality. You do it for me. I don't really trust that I am enough. I don't really trust that I am a soul, first and foremost, an infinitely powerful soul, by the way, that creates all of this. And when you come up against that, you have a choice to make. Do I explore infinitely powerful love and light, or do I back off and pretend I never knew I was? And that's where you each are. You're at that fulcrum. You can either revert back to, I know nothing. What story? What reality? I didn't create those miracles. I didn't create that magic. I didn't receive anything. It's just me all alone in this little universe. And there's some authority outside of me calling the shots. And I have to beg or cajole or make sure that they know I'm suffering. So we're bringing a little bit of humor and drama into this so that you can see how ridiculous it is for someone who's a spiritual adult to stand before God and Goddess and not celebrate who you are. And when you do that, everything changes. Everything changes. There is no more struggling. There is no more suffering. Now, we understand it's going to take a little time for the opportunities to make sense. The opportunities that take you out of struggle and suffering and into a new way of being, a new way of relating to the illusion, where you create something new that then brings not just you joy, but brings more joy into the world and is also for others by definition, because you are not separate. So out of all of that, does it make sense?
Yes, it makes sense, and so beautiful how it was worded, and very always. I'm happy that we crossed this path in this airplane. Yes, it's true. Everything you say is true. I just needed. I do have a group that is relying, and they're seeing me kind of like, and I don't want them to see or hear, but I know they are. I'm just trying to reflect them. I'm trying to reflect them a lesson that don't ever doubt the divine source, how powerful it can be. So we're looking at the sun. And yes, I feel that I am.
Yes, claim that you are connected to source. Let yourself stay connected. When you connect consciously, you come to understand who you are. The more of who you truly are, the awareness of who am I really, that question leads you to inquiring, am I only this physical body? No. Am I just my ideas, my fantasies? No. Am I just these interactions that I have? No. There's so much more. There's an integrated wholeness to who you truly are. And when you stand in that wholeness, you radiate your love and your light. And you are essentially a voice for God and Goddess. And that has impact. That changes reality. That has a ripple effect across your universe. And there is more love and more light in your world as a result of you. It is measurable. And it is reflected back to you. You're right on track.
Thank you, beautiful Tara.
Yes.
I feel a lot better. Thank you. We had a beautiful time.
Yeah, so much between the words, but we know that you got it.
Yes, I did. Way beyond the word, yes.
Yes. All right, John, who's next?
Henry.
Hello, Tara. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Talking with me. in the meditation, I quite often do this, but I'm doing it more. That I don't know where I want to go. I go to the sea, and then I think, oh, no, I don't really want to be here. And then and then the grove, and I'm feeling, yes, I like this, but I don't really, can't really feel the energy, and I usually end up in the grotto, and I'm feeling, it's dark, and I don't feel very happy here. And so I was kind of between the three, but um, and not feeling I could get sorted out, as it were.
So we'll ask a few questions.
Yeah.
So one, we want to point out that you are exercising choice in the meditation
Yes.
and self-awareness, reflecting on, is this right for me? Oh, what if I choose the other one? And so as you went from one to the other, you did gather from each one, but what you noticed was, I wonder if I could create this differently. You didn't quite get there, but you could have. So as your higher self did the balancing. Your higher self aligned you with the energies. Your higher self helped you integrate the energies. So as you let that in, oh, while I'm wondering where I should go and what I should do and what I should choose, it actually didn't matter which one I chose. My higher self integrated whatever was needed because I
Right.
gave that permission.
Right.
And so as you let that in, you can't get it wrong. Not really. You can't get it wrong. It was simply an opportunity to work with higher self in a co-creative way and align yourself with and explore for yourself, where am I at about being the authority, being
Yeah.
in my authority? And that in itself, wherever you're at, is valuable. To just understand, oh, I guess I'm still confused about it, perhaps. Or, oh, it was more comfortable this time. Or, oh, I really do know where I want to be with it. And I recognize that I'm not there yet, for instance. So we're just coming up with some scenarios that some of you might have experienced. Others of you just drifted off and don't remember a thing. And as we said when you were coming back, if you don't remember anything, you only remember as much as you're intended to. So understand that a lot of this work that we did in this meditation together was at the energy level. And it's about allowing the integration of that energy. And if you're doubtful, oh, I don't think I did it right, I don't think I allowed it, when you go into your night, give your higher self permission to complete the process while you dream, while you sleep. Because it's not your conscious mind doing the work anyway, not when it comes to energy. Does that help?
Yes. And the authority thing
Yes,
has
where
been,
are you at about it?
well,
Did
it's
you
been,
discover?
I've been feeling I don't have any authority, and seeing, I mean, I can see exactly how I could be, and I just feel so much. I mean, there's so many things that are happening where things I um what I mean, I have a appointment with my with about my eyes, and for example, coming up on Monday, and um, they I had an appointment recently, and they're putting through the idea of me having cataract surgery, and I didn't really realize that I had. Well, I didn't really agree to it, but it's kind of going through. And I want to say on Monday that I don't want to do the cataract surgery. And I'm thinking, well, how can I do that? And and those sort of things. But also, and then also, there's so many things closing down in my. I mean, I'm having great dance and movement, and I'm having some great open mics, but then other things are closing down. Things that, I mean, they just discontinued my favourite loaf at the and the loaf that I met my new friend, let's call her M, my love friend, over the tussle over it, and now it's gone, and other things, and there's my local pharmacy is closing, and this easy thing, and what I'm really kind of getting around to is, I've had such a tussle with getting in touch with my with M, my friend, because she went back to France, and I've just been so reluctant, just so reluctant to actually get in touch with her in the way that. And I did get in touch. I did make a call, and she said, "Oh, let me see your face. Go on, one of these other forms." And so then I kind of got bogged down in trying to do that, and rather than just calling through, it's just I'm just thinking I can't do this. And this morning I just had this huge thing about just feeling everything. There's no way I can call her, and if I don't call her, everything's finished, everything's gone. And then
so Henry, we'll just intervene here. If the phone is a challenge, what happened last time that helped you get the phone working?
No, it's not that it's a challenge. It's just that she was saying, let's go on a different platform on I can't remember what it's called now, where we can talk face to voice rather than on the phone. And I got all tangled up with, rather than just saying, oh, I'm getting tangled with this, let's talk on the phone for now. And then I've been trying to call her and thinking, just thinking all the old stuff about love that she won't want to talk to me. I will have lost it. This amazing feeling, and that I will have lost it. And then I did call her today eventually, and and she was there, and she was loving me, and she was. It was just absolutely wonderful. It was just, and there was nothing. That was the relationship that we had, which we talked about, where there was nothing in the way and there was no stuff. But all that stuff has just come up again. So again, it feels like authority, and then she couldn't. They were driving, and she couldn't. She couldn't talk on with the. Anyway, so she could talk because they needed to be on wireless, and so then we talked a bit, and then I decided I needed to go to this online conference where we were talking about improving her eyesight, and and so then I didn't continue the conversation with her so much on the with the sound, and I could see what I was doing, and it just feels so. I just feel so completely in trial or wherever it is with no authority, and knowing what's happening and asking my higher self to give my child what they need because I'm disconnected at the moment, and
All right, so let's start
yeah,
over.
yes,
So, what is it that if you could create your reality the way you want it, and you can,
yes.
that you would want it to look like? What would it look like? What would it feel like? What would you be doing? What kind of conversations would you be having? You already mentioned, oh, we
Yeah,
finally connected, and the love was right there, and it was just the way it was, and it was beautiful. And then immediately you remembered when it wasn't. So, what is so frightening about holding the love, carrying the love? Because this is about responsibility, isn't it? This is about showing up and generating a reality and holding it, holding love, carrying love.
yeah,
You're part of it, 100%. Your responsibility, not hers. And so, what's coming up around that as you begin to assess within yourself, not to necessarily share with the group, but do an internal audit of when have I dropped the love? When has the intimacy let me think the thought, I can't handle this? And oops, I dropped it and broke it. And see, I knew I couldn't handle it. Why didn't why didn't they just believe me when I said I can't handle this? Why did I give myself the hope that I could carry it? So these are not the thoughts of a spiritual adult. We'll just give you
I
that clue
understand that.
already. And
Yes,
you know that already. But
yes,
it's weighted by past lives where you were responsible for carrying the love and you didn't. It shattered, it
mm,
got dropped, it got lost. And there is grief there
mm,
around that. So as you sit with that, higher self, I need a healing balm. I need to put this aside so I can continue to create this beautiful relationship that is a gift to me. I didn't do anything other than desire it and imagine it, and it showed up. I didn't earn it. I can't control it. I can't keep it if I don't know how I got it. As you really let in, the lesser self is not the one who can carry the love, but you, the more, has exactly what is required. And you're not alone as you, the more. You have your higher self. You can commune with her higher self. You can create a support structure where you receive more than you give. And yet you give 100%. but you can't do it from the lesser self. You can't use the strategy of the child. You can't use the strategies of the adolescent.
Yeah.
Because in their reality, in your past, they don't get to keep it.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. They need to be in their reality where they do get to receive love. And so when these memories come up, you got to work with your child and put them back into the new reality. Let's go. Let's go put you back with the family that loves you unconditionally. Same with the adolescent. Let's put you with the peers and where you have the belonging, not with the family structure where you're depleted and you're disregarded and you're invisible. That needs to be healed. Now, do you have to wait? No, you don't.
Hmm.
Because when you make a phone call, you get to choose. Am I going to invite my higher self to participate in making this phone call? Am I going to consciously step from the fear and the old stuff? Or am I going to shift into me the more, who remembers I have a higher self, who understands she has a higher self?
Yeah.
And that all there really is to just enjoy being together for a few moments or for longer, whatever is available. Because as soon as you begin to say, I should have kept her on the line, even though I had another promise made to someone else, you're already out of integrity then. It's much more loving to say, hey, I got to hang up now. I've got another call to be on. I'd love to keep chatting. We'll talk again soon. So you leave it with a plan to connect again in the future.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh my gosh, I got to go. Bye.
No, well, yes, I didn't do that.
Yes, we know. But you get to see the adolescent would have waited until the very, very last minute and then had to hang up quickly with no real closure, no real plan to connect again. So as
Right.
long
Yeah.
as you're not doing that, as long as you are staying connected and saying, we'll talk again soon, and then you go do your next activity.
No, I see what you mean about the adolescent
Yes,
behavior, yes, and how I do that. Yeah.
you can. Yes, you don't do it all the time. But what you're struggling with is, why do I have these other feelings showing up when I have a friendship that is over the top best thing in the world? And so what's happening is exactly what happens when you expand into a new level, is the old stuff that doesn't fit the resonance of the new resonance
Yeah.
pops up for you to heal, for you to address, for you to say, oh, I don't want that anymore. I don't want to think that way. I don't want to feel that way.
Yeah.
I want to be immersed in this new me. And so there's a bit of image expansion that needs to happen, or changing of the image that has to happen. Oh, I can get rid of the fearful, selfish Henry, or whatever word you use for yourself, the one who's always worried about reality, and I can step into the me that, wow, when I'm filled with love, I'm a different person. I'm living the love that I say I want. I'm manifesting it.
Yeah.
I'm embraced by it. It's changing me. It brings a new sense of safety. I don't need the old scripts anymore. I don't need the old strategies. I really have outgrown them. So when you're still thinking, well, that's what's familiar, that's what I know, that's who I know myself to be, that's what I wake up into every day, or that's where I default every day, then choice is the way out. To pivot with choice. Oh, I feel yucky being in this way of thinking. I don't want this anymore. Let's choose something new. I'm going to use this friendship as a touchstone. I'm going to remember how good it felt to connect with my friend, even briefly, or perhaps for a long time. I'm going to remember those and treasure those moments. I'm going to get myself into a different resonance. And she's provided me that touchstone right now.
Mm.
And I'm going to build a new foundation that is built on knowing I am loved. And if I know I'm loved now, I also know I can help my child and my adolescent have that in their reality. And my higher self can provide that. And that's a different me. And you have been doing the work. And you have created more love. And it is a new day. And it is tied to, what do I want to create more of?
Mm.
And as you've been working with authority, we're not neglecting that topic. Absolutely, this is the first step. Authority has a different foundation of safety than the victim. For the victim, it's only safe if somebody else chooses. Just going to not choose. Eventually, someone will choose for me. I'm probably not going to like it, but I feel safe. But when you stand in your authority and you say, well, I really do prefer this kind of loaf of bread. It's too bad that they don't carry it anymore. I wonder if I can create either something better, something I like even more, hard to imagine because I really like that one, or I find out about another place that has a similar thing that I like. My world is expanding. My choices are expanding. I can turn this over to the universe to create new stuff, new solutions that come from this new resonance. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. What I was thinking about the things closing down and all that sort of thing was that I think it was Lazarus or somebody said that when you're kind of giving up, that 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 you're
Giving up on what?
just giving up on having the things that I want, but or that make life more elegant or whatever. But it can also be, can't it, that it's a way of
We would suggest that the
looking
loaf
to
of bread that you used to choose served its purpose. Now you have a friendship that's full of love. Choose a new loaf. Choose a new adventure.
um, yes, the um,
You're expanding. You have changed. That which was put in play from the you that existed before has you have to re-choose it if you continue to want to have it in your reality. But it comes to, well, the new me has new desire, new imagination,
Yeah.
has more expansive possibilities. Do I want to keep putting energy into the same thing, or am I willing to explore things that are showing up that are new? Yeah, it means I'm going to change my routine. Yeah, it's not going to be easy right away in the way that it is easy to do the same thing over and over again.
Right.
But ease can also come from having somebody point you in the right direction for the next thing.
Yeah.
Ease can come from something just crossing your path. Oh, I never noticed that bakery there. Oh, I didn't know that there were other choices, you see. Or I made that choice so specifically, and I really do enjoy it. And if that's the case, I'm committed to creating it somehow. And I'm going to turn it over to my higher self to help me create my preference in a way that is even more elegant. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's what it's all. I mean, that applies to so many things, doesn't it? When you said, "How do I want to be?" It was that period of time when I created my new friend, and also other things where I literally I just put out. I want to the energy of what I wanted. I was someone I wanted to meet. I didn't know what they looked like or any of that, but I
Yes.
put it out, and it turned up um, a day later. And the backstory. It had been going on. Our tussle over that loaf, uh, without us knowing, meeting each other, had been going on before. So I mean, I see how that happened. And at the same time, there was that other thing when when I missed the dance, and I was given a free ticket to the dance, to a different dance at the same time, and there was just that period when yes, this is what I wanted all to be about, and and I'm just trying to get back into that.
So you can't get back to it, but you can generate a
Yeah,
new one.
yeah,
You can generate a new resonance, building on what you have now as your new backdrop, you see.
yeah,
So each and every moment is brand new. What do I want to generate now?
yeah,
And that new relationship and the magic that was part of meeting and the free ticket to the dance and all of that, that's your new backdrop.
yes, I yes,
And
and it
really let
feels
that in, that oh, I have grown, I have changed, I am different now, and I am more free than ever before to generate what do I want next. I have that skill.
yeah.
Does that help?
Yes, if I can get into that into that place. And on the other hand, I have all these, the all these
It's a
odd
choice.
problems.
It's a choice. You can only pay attention to one thing at a time. Which one are you going to focus on?
How do you mean one thing at a time? I mean,
Well, you're either going to spend all your focus of attention on I have a problem that hasn't been solved yet, or you can choose something new to focus on. What do I want to create that also includes resolving my problems with elegance and ease? Because
right.
by focusing on the problem, I haven't fixed it yet, haven't solved it, not gone yet, still a problem. So maybe focusing on the problem isn't going to solve it. Maybe it requires choosing a new reality that includes disappearing or solving or healing something. If I choose something new, the problem is not my focus of attention. The solution becomes the focus.
Yes, and that gets, because I seem to have several problems that are really kind of
Yes,
at
everybody
a
does.
really, no,
Everybody does.
yes, but they seem to be at a, just a,
And everybody keeps living another day.
yes,
And you get to choose, how do I want to feel in that new day? What do I want to focus on? What do I want to allow? What magic and miracles do I want to allow? You see, you begin to set the tone for every day intentionally and step into the you that has it already. Oh, I'm the Henry that has solved his problems. What do I look like? What do I feel like? How do I know? Well, I don't believe it. Of course, you don't believe it yet. That's why you still have the problem in your reality. But your job is to build belief. Your job is to imagine, what would it be like if I was free to choose something new? Oh, I am free to choose something new. Right now, that looks like me choosing something new, and there's still this problem over here.
yeah,
But what if I could go even a little further into the reality where the optimal me has found the solution? I don't know what it is. I don't need to know. But the me that has solved it already feels differently than the me that has the problem. The me that solved it already feels different, looks different, behaves differently than the me that has the problem. So you have to spend a little bit of time in the you that is free of the problem so that the solution can come. Because the solutions, as you have no doubt heard, the solutions are not created by the mind that created the problem.
right.
The solutions are created by the you that stepped out of the you that has the problem and stepped into something new, into the unknowns, into the beauty, into the sacred, into the silence, and has received the energy of elegance and ease that brings the solution. It's already done. The you that doesn't have the problem exists already. Hard to believe. We understand that's why you have the problem in your current reality. It's okay. It's by design. The belief will manifest as reality until it's changed. If I believe strongly I have problems that I need to solve, I need to fix, I need to do something about, I have problems. Makes sense, doesn't it? Wow, it's
Yes, yes,
really consistent. If I have a belief, it manifests.
yes, and I'm seeing that.
And as you let in, oh, so what belief must I hold if I have solutions? Oh, I have a belief that I have access to solutions. And soon you will begin to manifest solutions, you see.
Yeah,
And that will be the focus of attention. Oh, I'm looking for solutions. Different than I'm looking at my problem.
yes,
So really, we understand it. We're simplifying it, and we're not doing this to make you look bad or feel bad. We just want your conscious mind to know it really is a simple matter of shifting the focus of attention from what you don't want, which is the problem, to what you do want, which is a solution.
yeah,
Yeah, and the solutions aren't there yet. That's why you can't see them, but you could ask for them. Higher self,
Yeah.
start showing me solutions in such a way that's for my highest good, so that the next solution doesn't bring more problems, but rather frees me up. And then your higher self says, so what's so important about being freed up? What are you going to create? Tell us all about it.
Yes, right.
All right. We love you. So we know there are three more. So we're going to go for now to Helen. We
Thank
love
you
you
so
so.
much. I love you.
Oops, sorry. Yeah.
Hi, Tara.
Yes, dear one. Where do we begin?
Um, I mean, so much you've talked about tonight's relevant. I do take really huge breaks from the news, whenever I notice my mind gets agitated. And interestingly enough, I've always liked Jon Stewart, and he now, like, after he left The Daily Show, he was gone for a long time, and now he's back on Monday nights. And I often just watch clips of his Monday night show over as I'm going to sleep. And I'm just roaring hysterically because it's how he presents the Iran war, which really there's nothing funny about it. It's so funny. And, or how he presents Donald Trump's ballroom is not funny, but it's so funny that there's something about the way he presents it that I can handle, that where I'm not getting agitated and I see the absurdity of it all. And this isn't what I wanted to talk about, but it was what was popping up when you're like, you've got to
Yeah.
take breaks from the news, because I certainly take a lot of breaks from the news. But what I wanted to talk about was, I'm trying to outline my NFL TV show, and I'm hoping this week, if I can get far enough, to do um, actually just try and record a mock-up and send it to the guy I met from the Ravens. And it's been really surprising journey so far, even it's just started, because whenever I tell people about my idea for the NFL show, everybody has an opinion about what they would like to see in the show, because either they love football, and even if they love football, there are things that intrigue them that they'd like to know more about. Or like Harry's like, even the people who are calling the games are often too complicated for me, and like I'd like to understand what a tight end is, or whatever. And then, or it'll be somebody who's like, yeah, I hate football too, and here's what I'd like to know about football. So what's really fascinating is, like, with the movie script, if I just describe the movie to people, most people are like, that sounds really wonderful. And they don't go very much further than that, other than saying it sounds like a wonderful idea and I'd like to watch it. Whereas with the NFL TV show, everybody has, like, it gets people to engage and have a conversation. And so I'm really surprised. And so what I kind of, it's been getting me to think about what my, what I'm thinking more deeply about what's my relationship to sports and life, because I've always been part of the camp that I don't like it, and I figure if this works out, then I'll do one with baseball. And it's been interesting because I find baseball very boring, but I like going to the stadium, and once a year with Harry and other friends, and there's just something nice and relaxing about sitting in the stands and eating popcorn or whatever. But I can't say I'm that interested in the game. I am a little bit, but I think it's like I'm kind of wondering, what is it in American society that is so obsessed with sports and the competition? Is it like the toxic masculinity about competing where you're beating down the other, in football more than baseball, you're beating down the other team. And why are we more football obsessed than baseball obsessed? Because Harry was saying when he was a kid, America was like baseball was the premier game, and it's actually a harder game than football. It's more you need it requires a lot more skill than baseball requires a lot more skill than football. And for me, I think, like I was starting to say, is it's a lot about I've never paid attention to it that much. I mean, it makes me feel I'm not going to say a strong sense of not belonging because I care so little that it doesn't, but there's a part of me that's like, oh, I just don't get this kind of mainstream culture. I find it, so there, I guess it does give me a little bit of a sense of lack of belonging, that maybe this show could provide. Um,
So you'll want to decide before you begin writing what you want your improve what do you want to improve in your reality, what do you want to restore, what do you want, so you're mentioning belonging. So if you write from I don't this sports really disconnect me and I really don't feel like I belong, that will be the impact of the script, you see.
well,
So
that's what I can't figure it out. Like, I don't, that's why wanted to talk to you is I actually don't know metaphysically. I need to understand metaphysically what am I trying to achieve, and I don't know what it is.
yes, and we would suggest that from a place of this activity disconnects me is not the same space, the same resonance that the inspiration of wouldn't it be funny to do a show about this and the differences and look and see what drives these people. That's a different space than when you're trying to fix the belonging, you see. So the movie cannot be about fixing your sense of belonging.
Yeah, I don't feel
Or
like
you
that's what
will
it
write,
is.
or it will not succeed because the message
Yeah.
will be heavily sided towards everybody agreeing with you that yeah, sports disconnect people, when
Yeah.
it's not the truth.
Right.
So as you float back up to, we'll just say, out of the emotion and back up into that vision of what's funny about seeing you and Harry on the couch talking about sports, or the different reactions you each have, or the way you play that out. And what does that say about a happy married couple and how they deal with sports in their relationship? So you see something like that and we're just putting that out as one possibility.
Right.
But you have your own idea and as you're talking to these other people, what is it that is sparked in them that they relate to, that has them respond at all? That's the magic spark. So as you're gathering that intel, so to speak, and letting it be in a sea of creativity, okay, out of this, all of these sparks, something's going to emerge. And that's what I'm going to make my movie about. So allow that to be a creative process. You don't need to know yet what you're going to write.
Just kind of let it I mean,
you engage by asking, by presenting it and asking, and because your question will still be ultimately will be the same as the other project. How am I going to create funding?
mm-hmm.
And what generates funding is enthusiasm, we suppose, and belief, of course. So as you're working on the metaphysics of, okay, do I believe, where am I at about my belief about I can generate funding? I can create that. I can allow that. I can have help with that. I can manifest huge amounts of money. It's not about me. It's for the purpose of creating a positive impact in the world. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So I
what's
don't really,
interesting with the NFL topic is it's really truly just for entertainment. Whereas the other story, you have a whole different structure where you're thinking maybe a nonprofit, uh, maybe adding awareness to an issue, creating dialogue. It's a whole different pillar, we would say, pillar of creativity. This other one is more comedy, uh, is much more for entertainment, would you say?
it is, but I think there's something similar to the movie in that the NFL show is about closing a gap of interest between partners so that you can be closer. And so there and you know, so within my relationship with Harry, okay, he's Jewish and I'm Palestinian and he likes sports and I don't like sports. And so there is also a silo, you know, he's in the I love sports silo and I'm in the I don't like sports silo. And the show is a less important, lighter version of the movie in that you know, the movie is trying to get the Palestinian pro-Palestinian silo and the pro-Israeli silo people to kind of see each other's side is a much harder thing to do. And so I think the NFL TV show is it's actually a similar thing. It's getting one partner to look at the other partner's interest in a different light and coming together. So I do actually think there is a greater purpose than just being funny to me. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah. Uh, but I don't I and maybe it's not I was just kind of what I've been trying to figure out sort of metaphysically over the last what I've been noodling over for the last day or two is just to try and understand what, you know, why are there so many people that like don't like football like me? You know, I don't really like watching men bash each other. I don't find it entertaining really. Although now that I'm understanding the rules of the game, it is more interesting. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So continue to let it be an inquiry.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thanks.
Beautiful. We love you so.
Mhm.
All right. Who is next?
Warren.
Hello. So I'd like to try to.
You're a bit quiet.
Well, this might be better here, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's better.
Okay. So hang on here. Well, I had some questions lined up before, and it's changed a little bit. I always benefit from that following season trailing wins from the prior people who spoke. So I think it's more oriented now towards resonance and choice, maybe belief. And then a perspective where I'm looking for this new earth and what I might need to look for is a new day. But basically, originally, um, I was thinking, okay, I've held the belief for years, possibly decades, that there will be humans like those today who call themselves star seeds, or we call star seeds, but or others that might call themselves magicians of the new earth. But these are people with really bona fide credentials. You know, they've spent time with people, channels like you, Tara, but Lazarus, Seth, Abraham, various coaching experiences and sources. But from these kind of the singularly exalted ranks of humans, there would be special ones who would ascend and maybe just evolve to a new form of human that ushers in the new earth. Just because they're here now, we can do this. But lately, I've observed what I've observed personally in my waking state, I'm witnessing something quite different. The least spiritually credentialed humans seem to be the ones showing up in my reality that are now the most spiritually curious. Their curiosity is high. They're having brilliant awakenings. I'm talking about physicists and mathematicians speaking in like poetry and prose and having an incredible passion when they're on YouTube presentations. Their drive, enthusiasm, and energy is almost unstoppable. You've heard of QAnon. Well, these guys are on and on. They just go on and on and on. And yeah, right. If Francis Parker, he'd be grinning ear to ear. But I'm impressed with their drive and their energy, and I felt like I'm missing that now. Um, so my question, and, oh, by the way, in my dream states, these groups tend to be collectives of females in my dream states. So, but anyway, my question, how might I best form intentional communities with these folks that I'm seeing? And the second tier of the question was, why am I uh, of among the least socially skilled, with the probably slightly autistic, seeing this now? But now it's more like my question would be, why do I long for it so much now? So that's my question set.
All right, wonderful. So always when there is a longing for community, there is also the it's an issue of belonging. So a question of how do I belong? And that would imply that I don't belong. And we're not saying that that's who you are right now, but that would be coming from the past. That would need to be healed completely. And this is true for many of you because you came in as map maker magicians, and so you created, not aware of it, but it was part of the plan for you to feel different. I'm different than others in my environment. I feel different. They treat me differently. I know things they don't know. I see things they don't see. These awarenesses set me apart from the consensus, and the consensus treats me differently because of what I see and what I know. And so as you begin there and realize, oh, that is actually part of my experience, maybe not exactly the way we described it, but there is that sense of knowing that you came into experience separation from and longing for. Now, by the time you became an adolescent, as much as you wanted to be part of a peer group, there was another stronger part of you that said, I don't really want to be a part of them. That's not who I am. I'm different. And so that established already a pattern of wanting to be connected, but I don't really fit in. It's not really me. It's not who I am. Then along the way, each of you discovered spirituality. You discovered you have a higher self. You discovered others like you who are map maker magicians. And interestingly enough, all the other map maker magicians are quite unique and individual also. And so you belong to a loose group of people who agree that you belong to this group. And yet to connect and be a community has taken effort because each of you are unique by your very nature. So Lazarus has often said, you're going to find that it's hard to create a group of you. Yes, you all show up for the workshops. Yes, you all talk about metaphysics. Yes, you all meditate, but that doesn't mean that you can create a cohesive, loving community without changing some things. And so each of you along the way have gone along and you have learned how to love. And you have learned to what degree you love yourself and to what degree you push love away. And you have evolved yourself in the context of love. And you have become more loving. And because of that, you're ready. You have created community already, and you want more. What if I could expand this to be more of my norm, to be more of my world? And you want to be aware that the earliest family unit was your childhood family, the nuclear family. And there are definitions there that don't serve who you're becoming. And that's why we have you do such intense work with the child, to reparent, to give your child a new reality where he can be free to be who he is, where he is honored for his creativity and his genius and his emotions, his sensitivities, his awarenesses. So we want each of you to go be with your small child self, whatever age appears, and with your higher self there. Allow your child to demonstrate who they really are, the gifts that they came in with that got shut down too early, but are now restored. And when you're in the presence of the free child, the innocence just flows, is beautiful. The joy, spontaneous joy over any little thing. The laughter, the willingness to be loved, the magic that is in the little fingertip of that free child and just explodes into new realities. That becomes the foundation for community. The knowing who you are. And it is an unshakable faith that you create because you show up and do the work with your child. You show up and do the work with your adolescent. Not alone. It's not something you can fix. It's something your higher self has to help you heal. And you have healed enough. You are good enough. And the free child, the magical child, heals you in ways you cannot put words to. And so you're having these new thoughts. What if we could create a community? Yes. What if you could? You are already. So be aware. I'm going to want to create rules. I'm going to want to create criteria. But that is not honoring the unique gifts that each person brings. You need to have a framework that allows that expansiveness. That each being that becomes part of your community brings their love, their light, their magic, their free thinking, their ideas, their generosity of spirit, their love. And now the rules are not really needed. They're just guidelines. So as you sit with that and recognize, oh, my lesser self wants rules, wants criteria. I'm going to be that HOA owner that nobody likes, who sets the tone for everything and controls everything. That part needs to be set aside. That part should not be contributing to your vision. Just be aware it's there, but you have to say no to it. You may not be that conscious of it. No, I thought I was doing okay. you are and be aware of what would sabotage you would be the need to control the outcome. Does that help?
It helps a lot. In recent weeks or months, I've actually had dreams with my child and adolescent playing out like a movie, sort of a script, kind of
Beautiful.
very, very informative that way. Yeah. So, um, so without guidelines, what besides curiosity, what would be the qualities of forming such a intentional community? I mean, what would they reflect, the community?
So they're each bringing their individuality, they're bringing their strengths,
Mhm.
aware of their weaknesses, but bringing their strengths anyway. As you realize, I can't get it wrong. Every person has value. Everyone is who I am attracting into my community. I'm going to make more real. That means I'm going to allow their love and their light to shine through. Can't get it wrong. Does that help?
Thank you so much. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Beautiful. There's a lot in there, but you'll
Yeah,
figure it out. We love you so.
ditto.
All right. And Jessica.
Yes.
Hi, Tara.
Yes, dear one.
Hi. Oh, I feel like I'm at an amazing point in my life that there's a lot going on, a lot that I could call difficult, but I feel it's like the biggest. Anyway, I'm still going through. I'm at the pinnacle, I'm calling it, of what's going on with this estate long-term fight with my sister. Um, I took a trip for my birthday over the last 2 weeks just to get away. And it was perfect. It was wonderful, with healing. And over the last few weeks, I've been kind of, I think I could call it, it feels like waking up from a dream or having deeper understanding, because I've talked about how my sister's mentally ill and blah, most people think I'm just an angry sister and different whispers. I don't hardly know how to say this, but I feel that she's actually on a psychopath level, and I'm coming to terms with that and making a choice to actually completely sever my relationship. And it feels, I've had too many whispers. It feels like the right thing to do. I get messages from my higher self, and um so the last time I've talked is like, very unexpectedly, I decided I wanted to buy this piece of our family land, that I would pay for it because I was having so much joy on this beautiful bio. It was just making me so happy. And I, uh, in the last week, actually, just 1 week, 7 days, um, we knew that someone was going to come and make a very low offer. And there's four characters in this story. It's the lawyer who's assigned by the court. So he's over us and can overrule us. There's my sister, and there's the realtor. And the realtor and the lawyer are just so sick of this story. They just want to get it done. And I understand that. And so this guy came in and made an extremely low offer. And the lawyer respects us in that, okay, what do you choose? What do you choose? And my answer was absolutely not. We have 6 more months of good weather. We can, we can take some action. We can sell it for, it's like the offer was so much lower. Long story short, I got overruled, and there was no, I don't know what the word I want to use. No one asked about, no one even attempted to ask about the possibility of me buying the land. And so it has now been that I don't want to say I lost, but I got outvoted. And the lawyer ruled that, we are going with this really low price. And a couple of things. One is that at first I just felt like, how could this be? Because the last 6 weeks, on one hand, I've had more joy about remodeling the house and having a new project and, excitement that I could make some dreams come true. And like, how could I have been tantalized or, given those to play with, and yet it all be taken care of me? And the answer I came up with was that, and I just want some feedback after a couple of the things. The only answer I could come up with was that it did give me so much joy for the last 6 to 8 weeks. I don't know that I could have been here in Texas in this way had I not had that. And I did make a commitment with myself before all this started that if I got overruled and if I couldn't buy the land, that would be my higher self and God is telling me, this is not your highest choice. We're helping you take care of it. I feel that that's true, and yet I'm just dealing with lots of grief. I'm letting myself have a lot of grief. So there's one last piece of the story, and it's about me taking a stand for myself because my sister had 2 acres right next door to it. It was not supposed to be included in it. The guy came in and said, "Oh no, it includes that also." And they sent me papers for me to review as if I was going to be a part of that. On Friday, I was trying to get more information. So it was just 2 days ago. It's like, why is nobody answering me? Please, to the, Larry and Jerry, please call me. No one called me. It's Friday afternoon on a holiday weekend. And I couldn't understand why they weren't calling me. A lot of magic is happening. On Friday afternoon, the guy who was buying it, who we went to high school with, happened to drive on the property where I'm living. The magic that would have happened, that I happened to open the door while he was driving by and see him, it was a miracle. Could have been he could have driven by. He wanted to just say hi. We ended up talking for an hour and a half. And I realized I'd made up a lot of stories about him being, becoming a rich guy that was just screwing us around. And what I found out is he was quite innocent. He just wanted to buy this beautiful piece of land for a cheap price. I don't fault him that. But I found out that there was some possibly collusion, but for sure them not really letting me know what's going on. They told him he had to pay the deposit Friday afternoon when they weren't responding to me. He had to have a 2-week close instead of a 30-day close. They didn't ask him, they never even asked him about would he be willing to consider letting me buy 2 of the acres. So, of course, I feel very betrayed about all of it. I'm processing all my emotions. But the thing I found out that they didn't tell me about is that they wrote up 2 contracts and they gave her, he wanted 500,000 for all these acres, including hers. They determined how much she was going to get, and her land was way overpriced and not worth that price. What is my question? I guess I'm needing support in this because I've decided I'm going to let go of everything except for taking a stand for myself, because it feels like could even be illegal what they've done, and how to take a stand. And so I just like some feedback about it. And I want to share one really big magic. This was Friday. Yesterday, I was standing in the house I'm the dream about. It's the second floor, looks down in the bio. And I see a 16-foot alligator swimming by. I've never seen that one that big since I was a little girl. I followed him. I filmed him for a year and a half. He's one of my power animals. And when he was on the way back, he went up on the land and started bellowing. It's because they're equivalent to the lion of the jungle. They're not afraid of anything, no threat except for man. And I had to like pretend I wasn't seeing him. And I've only even heard or seen in documentaries that they bellow. It's like a roar. And a red-tailed hawk flew by, which is my number one power animal. And so I just took it like, yes, I'm supposed to, I am empowered. I am supported by God. God is my higher self. Yes, I can speak out and take it, so, and I fought for having 2 months to live in the house till I leave so I can take my time and have completion. So like I said, it just feels like a pinnacle of the biggest spiritual journey of my life, and I'm feeling good and every other feeling too. So it's a
Beautiful.
big story. And
Yes.
I'd love
And then today, the meditation being all about standing in your authority.
Yes. Yes. I was like, oh, perfect. Exactly.
Yes. Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's most important, what's most relevant, as you say, is to speak your truth.
Mm-hmm.
To as you sat with the person who will be buying the property, to share what you saw for the land, for what you envision for yourself and the land, whether it occurs or not. It's more important to share the vision.
Yes.
Pass the baton.
And I watched my ego come up and, trick me into, staying angry at him instead of rejoicing that. And he did tell me he wants to hear my design ideas and what I was going to do and implement them, and told me I could live here as long as I wanted and then I could come back to visit. I mean, it was just magic,
Yeah.
like crazy. So, but how to hold that magic
hold those wonderful feelings, that to feel heard, to notice the energy that's there just from someone else sharing the vision and wanting to have new ideas. That energy is different than what you've been in. Not you have that energy, but the others that you've been interacting with didn't have it. Now you've given yourself the gift of, oh wow, I've manifested somebody who also is willing to dream.
Yes.
And is responding to the call of the bayou. How beautiful.
And how to hold all of this magic and still be real about the grief.
The grief is important, but it is not the priority.
Okay.
So as you hold the vision, magic happens. You've opened up the magic. You've opened up a portal into magic. The illusion is not set in stone. You've been presented with, what if it looks this way?
Right.
And as you stay in the energy of it, in the resonance, more magic will happen.
Yeah.
And just, I've stated to the universe what I want. Consider my wants, my needs, my desires, with harm to none, with elegance and ease in this scenario. It wasn't looking very good for a long time there. Then there was this opening, and I got in touch with what I would like. I would like to do. And now a version of it has presented itself, not the one you wanted, not the one you expected, but a version is in play right now. As you simply say this or something better. I've said my piece. This is how I want to feel. This is what I dream. And you've created an invitation to participate.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Yes,
that's
that's
the
beautiful.
beginning energy. That's that initiating energy. Oh, I have an invitation. What do I want to dream? What do I want to continue to dream? This or something better?
Mm-hmm.
The money is important. The money
Right.
is where I wanted it to be. However, I'm seeing other new elements show up. And then I get confirmation. The alligator comes and bellows.
Yeah.
The red-tailed hawk flies overhead.
Yes.
There is magic at work. That's what I'm going to pay attention to.
Yeah.
It's supporting me in my quest. I don't know how it's going to look in the end, but I know it's for me. I'm being loved by my reality. I'm being guided. I have
Mm.
the elements that tell me when magic is occurring.
And I can step into a whole new reality that's letting go of it. So many years of fight.
Yes.
It's over. Thank you.
Yes, we love you so. Beautiful.
Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
And your birthday, a celebration of who you have become and who you are becoming.
Mm.
An expansion is
Mm-hmm.
occurring, and you have already done the work. You have already let go of so much of who you are not. And as you stand in this new year to really open that up to the magic and the miracles,
Mm.
I give my permission. I give my
Mm-hmm.
higher self permission. I give God, Goddess permission to imbue my reality with more love, more magic, more
Mm-hmm.
healing, more miracles.
Right.
Beautiful.
Mm. And today's my father's birthday.
Wonderful.
So it's a lot of magic.
Yes. And so
Thank you. Thank you.
he's
Thank you.
participating. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Mm.
And so we go for now. Certainly so. We love you so. And we go for now to each and every one of you for participating, for bringing your love and your light. The magic that is being worked here is profound and important. And so we honor you for that. And we go for now as we bring Katrina back. We go with love and peace until next time.
Thank you, Tara.
Thank you,
you,
Tara.
Tara.
Thank you, Tara.
Tara.